Tennessee's Wildside is a presentation of the Jackson Foundation.
Hi friends, welcome to the Wildside. I'm Steve Hall. If a legacy is one of the ultimate goals in life, then a living legacy is surely a pinnacle of success. And when you've operated a business based on education and entertainment, you start pondering the process of passing it on. In fact, sometimes what the world needs is the very resource you utilize for your greatest accomplishment. And if you own 44 acres that have been home to one of your community's most popular summer camps, you are perfectly positioned to make another lasting impact.
My mom was a school teacher, so she decided to start a day camp. That first summer, we had 4 campers. I was 13 when my mom started the camp. She wanted children to be outdoors in nature, to learn about themselves, but she also wanted them to learn new skills. And it would be anything from archery to kayaking, climbing a rock wall, petting farm animals, doing arts and crafts.
Flying squirrel. Some years it was the 4th of July parade. That was always a big hit.
The philosophy was make your own choices. You end up making friends because you're doing activities you like with kids who are liking the same activity. And you're learning that sometimes you do an activity you thought you'd like, but you didn't like it, and you stick through with it anyway. So it helped kids build resilience, learn to make choices, learn the consequences of sometimes choices not working out. It was a great growth experience for the kids. Well, you fast forward to 2022, 50 years later, and we had 240 campers a week.
And we would rent school buses, at least one counselor on every bus, and they would sing songs, and the bus trip became part of their camp day. It was glorious.
We had campers who started as the very youngest campers in Cub Camp. Those would be kids going into 1st grade. They would attend every year until they made it through Leadership Challenge, when they would usually be 17.
And that was a chance for them to still have camp activities that they could participate in, but they were also learning.
And then at 18, they would be counselors. We had a bunch do that.
For that purpose, to let them know what had to be done to keep a camp going. We made it through COVID just fine, except we were in the hole both years. And eventually 2022 turned out to be a bumper year, and it was the 50th year, so we thought that was an appropriate time to close the camp, and this was your mother's decision.
She's proud of what she did. It was a lot of hard work, but yeah, she felt she made it. And that's when we started the Rewilding project.
As it turns out, we closed August 2022. September of 2022, the beavers moved into the creek.
So imagine 240 campers playing in the creek. A month later, a family of beavers moves right in, and they used one of the dams that the campers had built as the start for their dam.
The theory was that the land had given of itself for 50 years, and it had been take from the land. We thought the land deserved a break.
When we decided we wanted to protect the land forever and make it better for wildlife, create more habitat, I started looking on the web, who's done this? And it ended up that the U.S. Department of Agriculture has a program called EQIP, that stands for Environmental Quality Improvement Program, and they will give farm owners money to enhance the wildlife habitat. The first phase, after camp closed, we took down a lot of fencing. We also burned down our chicken coop, which had been there 30 years, and it had great soil. So we started a pollinator garden. We've been removing invasives. A caretaker came out and with a team of volunteers planted 370 small shrubs, live stakes, and those are what you see growing here around the pond. The next step in the rewilding was getting our grant for the forest management survey. That was completed last year, and now this year we're doing 4 practices they recommended. Today they're doing the thinning of the understory in the forest.
In their forested area, up here in the woods on the hill, we're doing a practice called forest stand improvement. Your woods are like a tomato garden. You got some crops out there, but you got a lot of weeds out there as well. So we're eradicating the weeds from the forest. It's called a cuda. These are different than machetes. They're much heavier bladed and they're much sharper. People don't realize there's a lot of trash trees in your woods. When you remove those from the understory and mid-story canopy, it's just improving your forest health and also allowing canopy gaps to come in where sunlight can come in and produce new vegetation for wildlife.
The whippoorwill bird, which our farm is named for, got lots of deer, great blue herons, possum, raccoons, salamanders, skinks,
foxes, a somewhat controversial bit of wildlife. We saw for the first time last week a timber rattlesnake. Snakes are a vital part of everything in nature.
The next step will be converting 5 acres of field to a tree plantation. They'll be planting 300 trees per acre. It'll be white oaks, red oaks, persimmon, pecan, and plum, all for increasing wildlife habitat. The final phase will be happening in 2025 when they convert 5 acres of our field into native grasses and pollinator flowers.
There's a Wildside Connection here at Whippoorwill, the greeting that you hear from Steve every week.
Hi friends, welcome to the Wild Side.
Well, that came from a young counselor named Miranda. I worked with her and with the horses here at Whippoorwill about 10 years ago, and every day we all looked forward to meeting Miranda out on the trails and hearing her say, "Hi friends." Well, it just made us all feel special.
We're still grieving from ending camp, but we know what we're doing, that rewilding is the right thing to do, that this is the right time, because so much development is coming all around us. We're working for the animals. The animals are now our campers. It renews the spirit to see this happen.
We see this place as a safe haven where all the wildlife will always have a place.
If you're interested in leaving a legacy of land, the owner of ArborSprings Forestry recommends that you first contact the Tennessee Department of Agriculture. After Whippoorwill closed, many of the camp supplies were donated to help their director start a new camp. You can find out more about Willow Springs Day Camp by going to our website at wildsidetv.com.